Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself I am Lavkush Jogi. I have completed MSc in Agriculture, Seed Science and Technology, specialization Seed Science and Technology from HNBGU, Central University, Srinagar, Uttarakhand in 2020. I have got 52 rank in PhD program Seed Science and Technology from Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICAR All India Entrance Examination for Admission in 2021. Today I am going to tell about the topic seed certification. Seed certification is a legally sanctioned system for quality control of seed multiplication and production, which consists of the following control measures. An administrative check on the origin of propagating material for the purposes of determining trueness to varietal purity, genetic purity. B. Field inspection and evaluations of the growing crop for obtaining data on trueness to varietal purity, isolation of seed crop to prevalent cross pollination. Mechanical admixtures and disease dissemination and crop conditions as regard diseases, objectionable weed and admixtures. C. Supervision of agricultural and commercial operations of harvesting, storage, transport and processing with a view to preserving to identity and quality of the lots. D. Sample inspection and evaluations of the planting quality by a laboratory test of a representative sample drawn by the certification agency that aims at determining the percentage of germination, moisture content, weed, seed content, admixture and purity. E. Bulk inspection, evaluations of the lot for the purposes of checking homogeneity of the bulk as compared with the sample inspected. F. Control plot testing. Sample drawn both from the source seed and the final seed produced can be ground in the field along with standard sample of the variety in questions. By comparison, it can be determined whether the varietal purity and health of the produced seed are equal to result based on inspection. Objective of seed certification. The objective of seed certification is to ensure guidance and quality of seed to the purchaser. A well organized seed certification program may the theory and actually does in fact become the guardian of the pure good quality seed supply. Seed grain is not like any other commercial product. The seed problem is much more complicated because in every seed there is the possibility of good or bad quality or high or low yield depending upon the breeding behind it. The real value of the seed cannot be determined entirely by its weight, its appearance of mechanical condition. Of equal importance is the breeding or the germ of life that is represented in that bulk of golden grain which may not look like many other lots. It is this indistinguishable value which was placed in the variety, in this variety or kind of seed by the breeder, which the seed certification endeavors are to perpetuate. In addition to varietal purity and identity, it also endeavors the maintain reasonable standards of other seed quality factors such as weed disease, viability, mechanical purity and grading. A well-organized seed certification system help accomplishing the following three primary objectives of seeds program. Douglas 1 1971. First, the system increases of superior varieties. Second, the identification of new varieties and their rapid increases under appropriate and generally accepted names. Third, provision of continuing supply of comparable material by careful maintenance. Fundamental concept of seed certification. Exactly where and how the concept of seed certification originated is not clear. However, the available records do indicate the credit for this should go to Swedish workers. The concept of system of seed certification grew out of the increased concern for the rapid loss of the identity of varieties in the early years of the 20th century. It began with the visit for agronomists and plant breeders to the field of progressive farmer who took the seed of new varieties from them, primarily with the objective of educating them on how to avoid contaminations. The initiated a field inspection process. The field inspections series proved to be great help in keeping varieties pure, but other problems spread to overcome some of these problems. Representative from USA and Canada meet in Chicago, Illinois in 1919 and organized the International Crop Improvement Association. The International Crop Improvement Association, which later 1969 changed in its name Association of Official Seed Certifying Agencies, lead the beginning of modern day seed certification. It enunciated the following fundamental concept of seed certification in 1919. First, pedigree of all certified crop must be based on lineage. Second, the integrity of certified seed growers must be recognized. Third, field inspection must be made by qualified inspector. 4. Verification trials to establish identification and usefulness of varieties and strains certified must be conducted. 5. It must be recognized that there is necessity for keeping proper records to establish and maintain satisfactory pedigree of seed stocks. 6. There should be standard established for purity and germination. 7. The principle of sealing seed to protect both grower and purchaser must be approved. At species of farm weed which would be included within the meaning of noxious weed must be defined. The present day seed certification is essentially based upon these basic concepts. Organization of certification. Statutory rules and regulations are necessary to carry out certification. See chapter 34. The various steps required for gaining seed certification are: first, establishment and operation of seed certification agency. Second, establishment of minimum seed certification standard. See chapter 32. Third, establishment of procedures for field inspection, seed processing, seed sampling and testing, and insurance of seed certification tag and seals, see chapter 33 and 34. Seed certification agency. Principle for forming certification agency. Statutory regulation regarding establishment of certification agency have been discussed in chapter 34. The board principle of forming a seed certification agency are follow. First, a seed certification agency should not be involved in the production of and marketing of seeds. Second, a seed certification agency should have autonomy. Third, the seed certification standard and procedure adopted by seed certification agency should be uniform. That is, the same standard and procedures should be adopted throughout the country. 4. A seed certification agency should be closely associated with a technical institute in relationship with a other institute should be clearly defined. 5. Its long-term objective should be the operate on a no-profit, no-loss basis. 6. Adequate staff trained in a seed certification should be maintained by the certification agency. 7. It should have provision for creating adequate facilities for ensuring timely and thorough inspection. 8. It should serve the interest of seed producers and buyers. Establishing a seed certification agency. Organization of seed certification agency require carefully planning. In planning and organizing a seed certification agency, pertinent data is in regard to anticipated acreage for certification of various crop area of operation, that is distance to be converted, farm size, nature of varieties, educational status and experience of certified seed growers, special problems etc. should be taken into consideration. The typical organization of seed certification agency has been board of directors, basic technical and other staff and other facilities for operating the program. A seed testing laboratory may or may not be required by a certification agency in case it decided to get its seed sample tested through of state seed laboratory. Board of director. The main function of the board of directors is planning in policy making. The board of directors should be include representatives from various interests, namely Department of Agriculture, agriculture universities, specialist, plant breeder, pathologist, entomologist, seed producers, representative of seed certification agencies and seed analyst. The board of directors at its direction may form committees for solving specific problem or assign specific work of person whom it deems fit or seek their advice. Staffing. The exact manpower requirement will depend upon pertinent data. No pat formally can be suggested to work out the exact requirement. A escalator staffing pattern is found in board of directors. There are two systems. First technical, other staff ministerial. First technical. Chief Seed Certification Officer, Regional Seed Certification Officer, Seed Certification Officer, Seed Certification Inspector. Second, other staff ministerial, Accountant Officer, Accountant, Clerk, PSNs, Drivers etc. Staff pattern of Seed Certification Agency. Technical staff. The basic technical staff of seed certification agency includes a director. The director of seed certification is responsible for the overall functioning of the agency. He should be member secretary to the board of directors and also the chairman of the various committee formed from time to time to deal with specific problems. B. A supervisor seed certification officer for each group of related species under certification, cereal seed, vegetables seed, etc. He should be put in charge of supervising of the field inspector work in and ensuring that regulations are observed and minimum standards are met. He should also train should certification inspector and other personnel involved in inspections. C. Seed certification inspector. A. Seed certification inspector for constitute the technical basis of the seed certification system. He must be man who known his job duties well. His integrity must be without question since the following harvest of a crop will not wait. He must be willing the work of unusually long hours during the peak of the field inspection season. He should be able to encourage of pursued seed grower and seed pursuer to adopt new techniques and scientific findings. Besides, he should be good and public relation and also be able to guide and lead farmer by his devotions to work, honesty and objective judgment. Last but not least, the certification inspector should be able without question to identify all varieties in the certification program. Duties and responsibilities of seed certification officer. Douglas 1 1971 summarized the duties and responsibilities of certification officer as follow. First, to arrange the suitable application, inspection and report forms. Second, to identify source of authentic breeder seed that can be used as the basis of the further multiplications. Third, the ensure that all basic and certified seed production has organized from acceptable source of breeder seed. 4. To ensure through field inspection that the prescribed minimum standard for isolation, planting ratio, rogging and other requirements as specified in the seed certification standard are met. 5. The assist seed growers and producers in obtaining suitable planting seed and in planting their seed properly. This is especially true in case of hybrid seed production. 6. The assist the seed producer at the time of harvesting, dry and processing to ensure that these are done correctly. These are particularly true to new producers who are just gaining experience. It should not be necessary to supervise every step of the operation once the seedmen have the adequate experience in the program. 7. To sample and inspect seed lot and submit such sample to the sample testing laboratory in order to ensure that prescribed seed standards are met. 8. To issue appropriate seed certification tag for seed lots which pass inspection. Ultimately, more responsibility of this kind should be borne by the seedman himself. 9. To carry out of educational program designated to promote the use of certified seed and the encourage seedmen to develop their own promotion program. 10. To maintain adequate records so that the eligibility of specific lots can be determined in subsequent years. 11. To operate in such a way as to ensure a close working relationship between the certified seed growers, dealer, research, personal government official and other with a interest in certified seed. 12. The investigate vigorously and violations of prescribed standards or complaints from user of certified seed and subsequently to take appropriate corrective action. Staff for the seed laboratory. The staff of running the seed laboratory will be required if the seed certification agency decided to establish its own seed laboratory. If so, the laboratory could be staffed and equipped as per discussion. The chapter 22. The other alternative will be send sample for seed testing to a other state seed testing laboratory. Other staff. The other staff include administration, account and of other personnel responsible for maintaining the establishment accounts etc. These can be kept at minimum level to keep down the expense. Selecting the staff for the seed certification agency. The board of directors of a seed certification agency should be have the fulfill responsibility for the selecting to the director of seed certification agency. The director of the seed certification agency should be have major responsibility for selection of the rest of his staff. However, this might be done in consultations with a board of directors. Seed certification is no better than the quality of staff involved. Therefore, every effort should be made of ensure that capable people are recruited. Qualities essential for members of the seed certification staff include honestly, dependability, sincerity, tactfulness, and genuine concern for the right and feelings of others. In addition, the staff of course must be technically competent. Facilities needed. The seed certificate staff does not need much office space. A room for the director of seed certification and space for the stenographer, filling, clerk and records would be all that is required. Initially, a desk are to be used by inspector when they report to the office would also be helpful. It is assumed that the seed testing work will be handled by one of the established seed testing laboratories. The seed certification agency should provide copies of necessary seed certificate standard inspection report forms, a notebook, adequate references giving morphological descriptions of varieties for identification, description of common disease found in the crop being inspected and other helpful agronomic references in addition to various stationery supplies such as pencil, clip, word, envelopes and stamps etc. provided to seed inspector. One of major concern of establishing a seed certification agency should be to ensure that means of provided for the mobility of the staff. This would include provisions of vehicles for officers and motorcycle for the seed inspector. Motorcycle may be provided through loans arrangements so that they eventually become the property of the inspector. Nevertheless, it is the essential that such mobility be provided the hazard that the effective job of seed certification can be executed. Operating the program. The primary purpose of seed certification agencies should be the provide service and guidance to various seed processing and distributing organization participating in seed certification. The service should be include the guiding of seed producers so that they can do an effective job of good quality seed production. The agency mid schedule short training sessions for both experienced and non-experienced seed producers. The agency should help to ensure that seed producer do a satisfactory job. Certification of seeds. Under of the provision of Seed Act 1 1966 and the Seed Rules 1 1968 made of thereunder, the certification of seed is done in the following manners. First, application for seed certification. All those interested in the certified seed production are required to submit an application on prescribed performa to the concerned state seed certification agency along with the application fee Rs 25 rupees. This fee is a per season and is irrespective of area and crops offered for certification in the application. The seed corporation and other seed cooperative are not treated as an individual. The seed certification agency upon receipt on the application is required to verify the following. First, that the varieties are eligible for certification. Only notified kind varieties are eligible. Second, that is source seed of crop to be sown on authentic and is the accordance with a condition laid in the minimum seed certificate standard. Third, that there would be no difficulties in reaching in the field of carrying out timely field inspections. 4. That the seed procedure is able to provided questions requisite isolation and the field meet the land requirements mentioned under the minimum seed certification standards. 5. That the processing facilities are available to the applicant. 6. That the requisite application fee has been paid. If the application fulfill the 6 conditions mentioned above, seed certification agency would be undertake the certification. Second, seed certification fees. Seed certification fee. If the application on the basis of verification made above is accepted by the certification, the applicant certified seed procedure is required to pay certification fee. Form of application for seed production under the seed certification program. First, name in block letters. Second, complete address in block letters. Village, post, district, state, telegraph office, nearest station, telephone number. Third, nearest town in distance from your team, highway number and route. 4. Name of variety, kind or seed offered for very certification. 5. Area under each variety kind offered for certification. 6. Classes of seed desired to produce foundation registered and certified. 7. Source of seed for item 6 above also mentioned tag, number of other particulars on the tag. At isolation distance in meter from other varieties of same crop, north to south, east to west. 9. Actual of purpose, date of planting, signature date, to the field by the office of the seed certification agency, number of field inspection made, date of inspection, copy of inspection report to be attached, to report of seed analyzed, copy to attached, certification, certificate issued, tag number, date of issue, issued by signature director, seed certification agency. The applicant certified seed producer is required to pay certification fee at the following rates: inspections fee for field inspections, supervision during seed processing, seed treatment, packaging, seed sampling and its sequence of certificate, issuance of certificate and sealing the container. For self-pollinated agriculture crops, 50 rupees per hectare. For hybrid vegetable crops including hybrid cotton, hybrid castor, 75 per hectare rupees. In case where the area is the fractions of hectare, the charges would be Rs 50 and 75 per hectare for self-pollinated agriculture crop, hybrids and vegetables respectively, or whole number for fractions charge वो calculated under. Areas up to 0.4, self-pollinated crops in agriculture 20, hybrid and variety 30, 0.4 and 0.8 hectare areas, self-pollinated agriculture crops 40, hybrid and vegetables 60. 0.8 to 1 hectare, 50 rupees self-pollinated crops, 75 hybrid and vegetables crops. See, testing Rs 10% per sample, reinspection and retesting fee. In which instance, seed producer may be request for reinspection on his field of retesting his seed sample. The reinspection in test retesting are fee as under. Reinspection are 30 rupees per hectare, reprocessing and repacking and are 1 per quintal, retesting Rs 10 rupees per sample. Revalidations fee at the unsold stock after the expiry that validity period of needed to be revalidated. The revalidations fee as under. Revalidations include the Rs 5 per quintal of fractions thereof. 3. Inspection of seed field. Their certified seed producer are required to grow the harvest to crop as per guidelines issued by the certification agency. If any, the must carefully and faithfully carry out the rogging and any other operation such as data selling etc. is directive of the certification agency. Seed certification agency staff make field inspection at appropriate stage of crop growth to ensure that the minimum standard for isolation, preceding crop requirement, rogging, other special operation are maintained at all times. These field inspections are designated to ensure that seed field meet the minimum standard for certification. All such seed fields which do not meet any the standard are eventually rejected. The detailed procedures and steps for field inspection have been given in chapter 33. The minimum seed certificate standard are given in chapter 32. Seed certificate agency staff members should be organized that their own schedules with the complete knowledge of the fields in their areas so that they can visit filled off systematically and on time. This may result in the various staff members keeping some kind of summary field record or chart which carries the anticipated time of inspections. A record of inspection made could be maintained. In case problem arise in inspection of the field, it is essential that the seed certificate agency representative be sure of the fact. In all cases of doubt, the number of counts that have to be recorded should be doubled and carefully judgment exercised to determine whether or not the entire field is failing to meet standard or whether it is a portion of the field which may be in trouble. In all problem cases, the seed procedure should be located and asked to visit the field with the seed certification agency representative. A recheck can be made together. It is highly desirable to the representative and the seed procedure reach an agreement on the spot if possible. If any doubt exists, the director of seed certificates should be notified or supervisor for the area should be called in inspect the field immediately even when an agreement is rechecked. If the field does not meet the standard, the director of seed certification or the supervisor for the area must be notified. The required number of the inspection recommended in the seed certification standards should be made. The purpose of these visits should be to properly guide and advise the seed procedure, but at the same time do the necessary inspection so that the ultimate buyer can be assured that the seed crop has met all the necessary standards. 4. Rejecting the field immediately upon conclusion of the inspection season or earlier if possible. All reports on problem fields should be grouped together and evaluated. The director of seed certification can be make up preliminary determination on what actions need to be taken. However, the board of directors should review such problem cases. The officially reject field, these could be reviewed without any indication of seed procedure name. Only the number of acres that problem should be discussed. The action taken should be communicated immediately to the seed growers with a copy to inspector supervisor concerned. By having seed producers involved in the review and rejection of the field, they recognize that they are a part of the program which treats everyone fairly and equally. 5. Inspection of seed processing. Seed certificate agency representative make as many inspections of seed lot records and processing plant as may be required. These are done to ensure that the admixtures of other kind and varieties are not introduced during the seed processing, that the seed is being cleaned, the graded in the satisfactory manner, that the seed, if dried by heated air at the processing plant, was dried with the air temperature not exceeding 43 degrees Celsius, that the seed treatment being done is as per directive of the seed certification agency, and that the lot being made are fairly homogeneous seed certification agency representative need not be at the seed processing plant at all times, especially with experienced seed procedures. A spot check could be exercised just as is true with the seed fields. 6. Seed sampling seed certification agency representative at the seed processing plant are required to take seed sample of all seed lots that are to carry the agency's tax. These seed samples are then sent to an official seed testing laboratory for evaluations for purity, germination or moisture. If a seed lot failed to meet the standards, resampling and retesting should be encouraged to ensure that no error has occurred. occurred. It is the process. 7. Tagging and sealing. Upon receiving a satisfactory report from official seed testing laboratory, tagging and sealing should be done under the supervision of the agency. This need not necessarily means that the agency representatives do the job or be on hand all the time. Tag and seal should be in the accordance with the general seed certification requirements. Affixing of tags and seals on the container completes the process of certification of seeds. At control plot testing, the seed certification agency should be arranged for post-season grow-out test of all the hybrid lots as prescribed in the standard, and also a random sampling of lots certified during the previous season. This should be done in cooperation with the seed testing laboratory and the concerned plant breeder. The purpose is to check the efficiency and accuracy of the work done. 9. Condition or intercropping during certified seed production of oilseed and pulses. Intercropping will be applicable to oilseed and pulses crop only for production of certified seed classes. The foundation seed classes shall be raised strictly as a single crop only. Second, other type of cropping patterns such as mixed cropping etc. will not be permitted. Third, the crop selected for intercropping should be belong to different genus and preferably with different maturity. 4. Only basic crop seed crop pertaining to oilseeds or pulses the case will be registered for certification, and companion crop will not be eligible for certification. 5. It should be ensured that the number of row of seed crop alternating with the companion crop are uniform throughout the field. 6. The certification agency will prepare of list of the crop combinations which may be followed by respective stats. The list of prepared will be circulated among the seed procedure in the advance at the time of deciding the crop combinations. The certification agency will be ensured that a. the companion crop does not hamper the operations needed for seed crop. B. It does not starve the seed crop the nutrients and moisture. E. It does not mature smoothly with a seed crop, or it does not carry weed seeds which may be mixed with the seed crop at maturity. F. It does not have common pests and disease. And G. It does not trader render certification work difficult. 10. Extension of the validity period. The extension of validity period of the certified seed shall be for the period of 6 months at each subsequent validations, as long as the seed conforms to the prescribed standard. Second, holder the certificate of his authorized representative by request to the extension of the validity of certified seed of the certification agency of the area in which the seed is located. He shall furnish the relevant information such as name of the crop, variety, classes of seed, quantity of seed in lot number, size and type of containers, number and date of certificate, etc. to the certification agency at the time of submission of application. Third, the certification agency, after receipt of the application for extension of validity period shall verify that tags, label and seals are intact on each seed container and arrange to draw samples and the analysis of in a notified seed laboratory. The sample would be tested for physical purity, germination and insect damage. 4. The reprocessing and rebagging at the time of the extension of validity is requested to a certification agency which has not initially certified the seed. It may be permitted provided certification agency is of the opinion that such operation may improve that the quality of seed and seeds are not badly evaded by fungus, pest, etc. Infested seed lot shall meet the condition laid down in para 15 of the General Seed Certification Standard whenever such operations are undertaken. A sample from each lot will be drawn before the seeds containers are opened and the cell by divided into 3 equal parts and sealed. One part shall be retained by the certification agency, another part by holder of the certificate or his representative, and remaining sample will be sent under registered post of certification agency which had initially certified of the seed. Besides this, holder of the stock shall retain at least 2 bags container for smaller packings up to 10 kg and 1 bags container above 10 kg in original packing of the each seed lot bagging validated up to the next validation or till the stock is disposed of. 5. After analysis of sample, if seed is found of to conform to the prescribed standard, the certification agency shall extend the validity of seed for the further period of 6 months from the date of test. Second, after expiry of the validity period of the holder of the certified seed stock shall ensure that leftover certified seed will be withdrawn from the cell and kept in cell custody till it is offered the revalidations to certification agency. The holder of in stock of such seeds shall not carry on the business of selling, keeping for sale offered the to sell, bettering of otherwise supplying the seed unless it is validated by certification agency. Amendment number 1 notification number 18 oblique 18 to 17 oblique 88 SDIV Government of India Ministry of Agriculture Department of Agriculture and Cooperations. The date of test and period of validity and name of certification agency who has extended the validity period must be rubber stamped on the tag affixed on the seed containers. However, if new tags are required to be issued due to reprocessing and rebagging of the seed, or the information indicated on the certification tag issued at the time of initial certification and the name of the certification agency who performed in the initial certification shall be recorded on the new tags. The serial number of new tag used for seed lot shall be informed to the certification agency who performed the initial certification. The certification agency shall be reserved at least two tags out of the tags removed from a seed lot and insert the restrictions of remaining tag in its presence. 6. A complete record shall be maintained by the certification agency of each lot offered for extension of the validity period. 10. Revocations of certificate. If the certificate agency is satisfied that the certificate granted by it has been obtained by misrepresentations as to an essential fact, or the holder of the certificate has been without reasonable causes failed to comply with the condition subject to which the certificate has been granted, may, after giving the holder of the certificate an opportunity of showing causes, revoke the certificate. 11. Appeal against certification agency. Any certified seed procedure aggrieved by a decision, a certification agency may appeal against the decision of the certification agency to the appellate authority specified by the concerned state government. Such appeals should be normally be made within 30 days from the date of receiving rejection letter from the certification agency. The application should be accompanied by the treasury receipt of sum Rs 100 rupees. The applicant must be specifies that following his appeal application. In his appeal application, A. The grounds of objection under distinct head of without any agreement of the narrative ends. B. Enclose of copy the decisions of the certification agency. The application may be presented in persons or through an agent duly authorized of, or may also be sent by the registered post, and deciding appeal under the Seed Act 1966. The appellate authority exercises all the power which of court has and follows the same procedures which is the court of follows, and deciding appeals from the decree of order and original court under the Code of Civil Procedure 119 Act 5 of 198. Every order of appellate authority is final.